Okay, let's get into this. We've got these sources describing, well, a really startling economic collapse, set not too far off, 2038.
Yeah, and our goal here isn't just to recount what happened.
Right, we want to unpack the mechanics, how that individual optimism we see can smash right into systemic fragility.
It's a collision course, really, and it starts, interestingly, not with gloom, but euphoria.
Okay.
The sources really paint this picture of 2038 having this unshakable optimism. Asset index is always climbing.
And that's where we meet Elias.
Exactly, Elias. He embodies this belief that the line only goes up. He's leveraging absolutely everything.
His workshop, his home.
Even digital assets, yeah. All to fund these big automation plans.
We see his wife, Maya. She's worried, right, about their debt-to-asset ratio.
She is, yeah, understandably. But Elias, he just brushes it off. Total faith in those asset indexes. He thinks the wealth is solid, permanent.
And the banks are feeding this confidence.
Oh, absolutely. They're happy to extend the credit, just as optimistic as everyone else.
But that optimism, that guarantee, it relied on everything staying perfectly smooth.
Which it never does. The trigger, according to these documents, it was almost insignificant on its own.
Like what?
Could have been a flicker from an overseas trading glitch, maybe a small conflict somewhere.
Yeah.
Just enough to make asset prices stutter.
And then they didn't just stutter, they fell.
They started to fall. And here's where the system's design kicks in catastrophically.
The leverage.
That initial drop forces margin calls. Everyone who borrowed heavily against those rising assets suddenly has to sell.
Just to cover their positions.
Right. And that forced selling, well, it just tanks the prices further and faster.
And exposes the weak spots.
It reveals that some major regional banks were just dangerously over-leveraged on those exact same assets. We see one fail, a big one, and boom, the easy credit that fueled Elias's world, gone overnight. The money supply just tightens like a fist.
So that credit freeze, that's the turning point, from optimism to, survival mode?
Instantly. Fear replaces confidence. And the vicious cycle starts spinning up.
What hits first?
Collective fear. Public confidence just evaporates. People stop buying things immediately.
Consumer spending halts.
Right. Elias sees his orders get delayed, then canceled completely. At the same time, businesses hit the brakes on any investment. Panic.
And what are the authorities doing? The government? The central bank?
Well, that's the critical part. The sources point to hesitation, paralysis almost.
Why?
The government was initially focused on austerity, maybe, and the central bank was deeply worried about moral hazard.
The fear that bailing out risky players just encourages more risk later.
Exactly. But that hesitation, that concern, it gave space for the real killer mechanism to take hold.
Which is?
The monetary contraction spiral.
Yeah.
Because they didn't step in quickly with emergency liquidity, the money system itself starts to seize up.
So even safe borrowers can't get credit.
Nobody can. Lending just vanishes. The economy gets choked because basic transactions can't even happen.
And the human cost of that chokehold?
It's immediate. Elias is facing foreclosure. His fancy automated machines are silent.
He has to lay off his team.
His whole team, including Maria. And the source makes a point of mentioning, she has kids, her husband was already laid off. Unemployment spikes.
That personal pain must create political pressure.
Huge pressure. Seeing those unemployment numbers surge, the government feels it has to do something visible, decisive.
And they roll out the Homeland Prosperity Act.
Yep. Sweeping protectionist tariffs, designed to shield domestic jobs and industry. There was probably a brief sense of relief.
But it backfired. This is the protectionist trap you mentioned.
It's the final twist, yeah. The policy meant to save them actually seals their fate.
How?
Because those tariffs immediately spark retaliatory trade wars. Global supply chains just shatter.
Okay.
And Elias, remember him, he's desperate now, trying to pivot. He wants to start a simple repair service. Practical. Needed.
Makes sense.
But the components he needs, small, specialized electronic parts for the machines he knows, they only come from overseas.
And the tariffs.
Doubled the price instantly. His new venture, his last hope, impossible. The policy designed to protect domestic business made his impossible, ruined him, and helped ruin the economy.
So pulling it all together, the collapse wasn't just one thing, not the glitch, not the banks, not even just the tariffs.
No, it was everything, hitting all at once. Each failure feeding the next one in these awful reinforcing loops.
The hum of prosperity just stopped, replaced by silence. Idle machines. Broken trust.
That's it, precisely. And Elias, standing in his silent workshop, he realizes he's seeing the ghost of the system, the invisible architecture of how they got ruined.
Which leaves us with a pretty unsettling thought for you, the listener.
Yeah. What hidden cycles, what assumptions about things always going up might be operating under the surface in our economy today that maybe we're dismissing as just noise?